All right, so the big topic for this episode is board gaming on a budget like a baller.
That's right.
Like I said earlier, this was something I planned on wanting to do because the ending of Token Punch Lunch, kind of going over and consolidating. We took a break. I ran down the stairs. I'm out of breath. To consolidate all my thoughts on board gaming, budget stuff into one episode. And I thought this would be kind of neat. It's weird because I feel like we love deals.
Oh yeah.
And, but we don't really need to, I don't think we have the income that we have set aside for gaming to be okay with, but we still always look for like crazy deals and stuff. Or at least Eric and I.
Yeah.
I guess Matt does too, but you're kind of limited by space at this point. Mm-hmm. How's that going, by the way?
I'm consolidating, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, no, I mean like looking for a new house. Are you still doing that?
Oh yeah. All my games are pretty much in the storage area right now.
Oh yeah.
So,
well, anyway, so I have a couple of like categories here. So I'm going to not try to like monologue this the whole thing or anything, but let's talk about obviously math trades.
Oh yeah.
We're going to touch on this because we have talked about math trades a whole lot.
Sure.
But if you want to board game on a budget, math trades are the way to do it. I mean, obviously you need an initial investment of games and then trade them. And then obviously you want to trade to where you're not spending shipping. So going to conventions works really well for this.
And that's what we do. There is some shipping ones. There's some local ones, but what we mostly do is convention ones.
Yeah. So I don't know. What's your favorite thing about like what's your goal in a math trade? Because it's slightly different, I think, for each person.
Mine is to get rid of as much and get as much. so usually in the last couple of math trades, we might trade out like 25 games or something. That's a lot. That
is a lot.
Right. So a lot of people don't even have 25 games, I guess. But so we get rid of a lot and get a lot all at once, and I do it, and Tim does it, and Matt does it. So that's another 70 games that is new to us.
Yeah, even if you all trade 3 games, it's like 9 games with 3 people.
Right,
that's pretty awesome. Matt, what's your primary goal that you think?
I'm just trying to clear off games that I pretty much figured are not going to get to the table anymore, and just get new ones.
Yeah.
So, because I have had a limited space of board gaming, so it does work for the person that's already pretty much maxed out on space. You can just kind of look around at your games like, I can get rid of some of these and get, it's like getting 10 new games.
That's true. And it's much cooler, I think, than selling them. Because, like, you feel the depreciation when you sell it.
Right.
But not so much when you trade them.
Yeah.
I think my primary goal in the beginning was to get rid of games I never played. And now I think I'm getting rid of, like, I meant to do this last time, but I think I want to start doubling up on games.
Sure, like
so like each entry I give away 2 but get 1 back.
Right.
That might be a better value probably than just 1-on-1.
Correct. Right.
But I get rid of a lot of games and I get, I don't know, it probably won't work out that way. I'll probably still trade 50 for 75.
Right. Yeah, that happens quite a bit.
Yeah. But no, it's so good, man. Math trades are so great. As a matter of fact, I kind of wish more of them would happen like in Indianapolis, which is apparently the gaming capital of the world, but
just because of Gen Con, right?
Yeah. Like I feel like math trades could happen a lot more there. But
sure.
You add shipping costs to it, boop, out the window, done with it.
Right.
Now, Origins is like prime rib of math trades right now.
For some reason, right.
Gen Con's like not even a dessert now.
Well, it's got the two system battle thing going on.
They only did one now. The other one stepped down. He didn't do it.
Right. I think it's just because everybody was used to that one. I guess. Yeah, you're right. It's not 2, but I think everyone's just being stubborn and not wanting to use this new one as much. So
That's fair.
Hopefully they'll give way and we'll have as many as we've had in the past.
Yep. Well, the next little subtopic is talking about thrift shops and half-price books, things where you can get games used specifically or games, that was donated at thrift stores and stuff. Matt, you don't do a lot of this part.
I don't do this at all.
Yeah.
Matt's not the, is it you have no. Do you like care to even step into Goodwills for the most part?
No.
That's fair.
I don't care for Goodwill. No reason. I just don't care to go in there. You guys go in there regular enough. I think the problem is I hear, oh man, look at all this stuff Tim and Eric are finding.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't realize how often you all go in them, because then
every day,
the casual person goes into one and you're looking
You're
around and
not
you're
gonna
like,
find anything.
yeah, it's like, what are they seeing? What store did they go
I
to?
see 26,000 copies of Seen It.
Right. If you want seen it, you could pretty much go any day.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. So Goodwill. Now my wife does go to Half Price Books a lot. But she's
That's like a different environment
Yeah.
for sure.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah,
I mean, you're not getting games for $3.
And when
but-
she goes there, I will at least look at the games
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So I just never really purchased anything from there.
do you mostly go to the Hurstbourne one?
She goes to the one on. Is there one on Burstown?
No, not Half Price Books.
Not a Half Price.
It's Westport Road and then Hurstbourne.
Yeah.
It
It might be a book and music exchange, maybe.
No, there's something in that shopping center. I could have swore it was a Half Price Books.
Books a Million.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, anyway, yeah, thrift stores are a great place, but Matt's right. You do need to be either extremely lucky or super consistent.
Right.
Because you want to find out. For the most part, I think that they stock throughout the day, but I feel like the people, like on the weekdays, you almost need to get there before five, like around 5 o'clock or before 5.
Mm-hmm.
Because once people get off work, they're going to go in there and find stuff. And then, it also depends on each Goodwill, because some of them like literally have set schedules that they put stuff out for.
Right. I figure so anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it might not it's not set in stone like every 2 hours or something, but you just get a feel that they go ham for like the first 3 hours of being there. And so there's all kinds of product out there. Then they kind of slack off. Or I don't know if it really is slacking off, or they just choose to like start cleaning up and doing other things or whatnot. But there are some prime times to step into each Goodwill. But I found some pretty good stuff. Eric.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. Did you write down anything that you found, or can you remember like some of the big finds that you had?
No. I think I know you found a World of Warcraft.
$5.
Yeah. I thought I did, or no, I traded for that one. No, I found a few. Robo Rally.
That's true. Yeah.
But nothing big to note at the moment. But there has been a few.
Man, I found a couple, like I think 2 copies of Settlers of Catan. I found the Ascension Rise of Vigil. I think it's called the blue one.
Mm-hmm.
I found the World of Warcraft game.
Battlestar Galactica game.
Found Battlestar Galactica, which was fantastic. It was unpunched. It was open, but it was unpunched.
Wow.
So thank you, person who donated that, because you devalued the insane pricers at Goodwill. That is one problem with them.
Oh.
It comes in shrink wrap. It's immediately whatever Amazon has it for.
Yeah.
Times 5. I don't know. I found all kinds of stuff.
Oh,
I wish I would have had this all written down.
Yeah. I found like Pandemic and a few others. Yeah.
The most obscure game I found I found some really weird like games that came out in the 80s and stuff like that. That's not,
Sure.
that's I kind of whatever. But that Haba game right up there, Gold Am Orinkino, I found that at Goodwill. It's just weird. Like I did not expect that to show up in Goodwill.
Oh, I found That's Life.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a Ravensburger.
Yeah. That was like from 1982 or something.
Yeah.
But it's a good game.
I found Mammoth Hunter. That was like
Oh.
right around the time when we started playing board games like it was,
Wow.
like we were in the hobby.
Yeah. That was a good find.
Yeah, that
I
was
like that
pretty,
game.
That was pretty good. Yeah. So lots of cool stuff. Obviously, like I said, be a little consistent. It helps.
I mean, these are over like 5 years, but
Yeah.
You're
We're not finding.
You're not gonna find something every day.
Yeah, like I mean, you'll find like I found a couple of the Minecraft card game, which is okay. It's not a bad game, I guess, from what Matt was saying. At
it's
least.
okay.
Yeah, it's okay. I found like the Adventure Time decks.
Yeah.
Because they sell them in Walmart and stuff, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I found you find your Monopolies and stuff like that all the time, or Risk and stuff. But there's a couple of versions of it that aren't bad that you can find that's nice.
Right.
Eric's found a couple of copies of Can't Stop.
Right.
That's pretty good. Or Quarto.
Oh yeah.
That was a
Love
good
Quarto.
one. Eric's forgetting all the games he's found.
That's right.
So you can find some good stuff. It helps if you have a store that's near you and you just visit that one over and over and over.
On the way from work or whatever.
Yeah, because if you're familiar with the store, every day you walk in there, I go every other day essentially, the days I don't have my son. And I go in there and I'm kind of already familiar with everything, so I can quickly scout the entire place. Which it gets dangerous, right? Because it starts with board games.
Right, yeah.
And then it's like, I'll check out the DVDs. And then I'll check out the games. And then I'm just going to start checking everything in the store besides the clothes.
Yeah.
But you can find a lot of cool stuff. So, yeah. And then half-price books. And there might be other places, maybe if you have a local game shop that sells used copies or buys and sells used copies. This could apply here too. But I think half-price books is less so of a gem. Like you can't find those hidden gems, or you can't find those like really cool discoveries.
And it might depend on your half-price books too.
Yes. But I feel like they do have clearance sections, and sometimes games that you wouldn't expect to find on there go for $2.
Right.
So I found a couple of games on there for $2.
And a couple times a year they do run sales, 30% off, 40% off, 50% off. And
that's awesome.
Yeah. During those times that price per game is pretty good.
Oh yeah, especially the used copies. Because everything that's new is a 20% off retail.
Yeah, 20% retail and then another 50% off. Actually, it turns out pretty good that way as well.
Right, but it's almost better to like do a cool stuff order if you're wanting to get a couple of games. If you just want one, it's not a bad decision because 20% off is good. But I don't know if they can beat Amazon with Prime rates.
No.
On a single game that's new, is what I mean.
I'm even talking about when they do the coupon for additional 50% off.
Well, no, at that point, yes, it's great.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm saying
their
normally
normal
their
20%
shrink
off,
wrap
right.
stuff is kind of garbage. Speaking of Amazon, though, and this is the only one I would be cautionary with because there are tons of counterfeits of games on Amazon. If you hit up Board Game Geek, there's actually huge threads about how to tell if your game's a counterfeit, like Ticket to Ride, Catan. Seven Wonders has a huge problem right now, from what I understand.
Oh, wow.
So, but Amazon is a great place. Eric, you probably bought more games on Amazon than I have.
Oh, I do it all the time.
Yep. So how do you find the good deals?
If you can actually subscribe to Hot Deals on Board Game Geek, I get a lot from there. Sometimes a website called Slick Deals. Sometimes they get posted on there as well. So mostly those two sites.
That's a good point. I kind of got you to prompt the Hot Deals on Board Game Geek because there's a lot of cool stuff posted there.
Oh yeah, definitely. I find all kinds of stuff just from people posting. People share what they find. You can go to this store, Marshall's or something, and they have this game on clearance.
Is that by Matt?
There's a few Marshalls here in Louisville.
Have you been to Marshall's?
The only Marshalls I know of is
I think they're like a TJ Maxx kind of.
Yeah.
They have clothes and.
Oh no, yeah, there is one out there in Dixie Manor, I believe.
Yeah.
They have some ridiculous deals sometimes on board games.
Really?
Like tell them about how much you paid for the Sons of Anarchy bundle.
That wasn't there. That was at Ollie's.
And
I think it was.
Is that near you?
Yeah, I got an Ollie's by me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So same thing, different.
I had someone check. He texted me about it, and Nikki actually happened to be there that day and
pick it up.
It was but my store didn't have them in a bundle.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
they might have been in a bundle, and someone like.
No, they were individually priced.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't the same bundle, but I still got the expansions because they were still pretty cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What was it, like $10?
Yeah, it was $10 a
pretty cheap.
piece, something like that.
And that was base game 3 expansions?
2.
Okay. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Can't beat that.
Yeah, I need to start going to Ollie's. I mean, do you go there a lot, or only when you know?
I'll drop on by. We get coffee from there. If anybody interested in Keurig coffee, they have a good price there.
Oh, really?
They're pretty much like an overstock place, right?
Yeah.
Huh. How many places are in Louisville?
2.
Yeah, I haven't added this to my list of places to go. This might. Do you think Ollie's usually has better stuff than, or more consistently has?
Board game wise?
Yeah.
No, most of their games are pretty bad. Every once in a while they'll get a pretty decent, okay game, but overall their selection is not that good. Although they have a decent amount of them, that most of them are pretty bad.
So like 50 copies of Twilight, the board game.
Yeah. Well, they have like I think the one was called like Golem Arcana or something.
Oh yeah.
That is a
The
miniature
one
game.
with the pen and stuff like that. Yep.
Some kind of miniature game.
It's a miniature game, but you have a pen that reads it.
Okay.
How much was that?
Oh, it was pretty cheap, $12 or something.
Actually, I kind of wish you told me that.
Oh, yeah. they might still have it.
Oh,
So,
yeah?
Yeah.
Yep. They that game. You know what? I will say this. This is out of context for the segment. I totally called the amount of time it would take that game to die.
I believe their app died.
Everything died.
Oh, well, I believe it's hard to get the app, or you can get it on, it's not on the Apple Store. It's only available on
Android.
Android, right?
Well, yeah, I'm sure the APK file is out there, and you can just download it
Sure.
and install it yourself.
Mhm.
Which is again the better thing about Android
Yeah.
than Apple. Well,
Unless you have to do something like jailbreak your phone and
Yeah.
find the app somewhere. Yeah.
but yeah, that's cool. I'll have to check that out. So a couple more things here. One, sometimes you don't even need money to play games.
Oh yeah,
'cause
definitely.
Who
So-
knows?
Yeah, we have different meetups here. We can, you can go to a game store. They do meetups here at least, every other Saturday, I believe, and they play all day. They have their own library, and you could just go there and play games for free, basically. So it's a good way to try out games anyway.
Yeah, and you can go a little further than that and use proxy components to play games.
Oh, sure.
I did this on Token Punch Lunch where I talked about, I think it was 5 games that you can play with it with just one deck of playing cards. And there's threads. There's actually geek lists on Board Game Geek that'll have a lot of these out there. Some of them will say like you need a couple of like components, maybe some dice, maybe 2 decks. Like for instance, you need 2 decks, but you can play Lost Cities, which is decks of cards, which makes sense because it pretty much is a deck of cards. You can play Agent Hunter. That's one that I thought was a really cool addition that no one's really talking about. It's basically a game where 2 players play against each other. You have like 9 cards, 1 through 9 or 0 through 9. 3 of them are face down, and you're trying to play them against the other person's card to say, is your 5 here? Well, in doing that, you have to tell me if it's lower or higher. And then if it's, or if it's the right one, you flip it over. But now I don't have a 5 because I have to play that card to say, do you have a 5 here? So I put the 5 over top of it. You tell me if it's lower or higher, or if it's the same, I take the 5 back into my hand. Well, now you don't have to play a 5 because it's in my hand. So it's like it got a little bit of deduction going on.
Huh.
It's usually a cheap game that you can pick up anyway,
Right.
like less than $10. But there's almost no reason to actually purchase it. Unless you like the game, I always say support the game if you like it.
Right.
That one's really cool. You can even play Resistance, which is the deck of cards. I mean, there's more details on that, but basically, each person gets a red or black card at the beginning, signifying loyal or the bad guys or whatever. And then when you go into the missions and stuff, you shuffle up you give everybody a red and black card, and you put them into a pile. I mean, it's so simple.
Right.
It helps for board games because it has artwork and stuff. But if you want to try stuff out, like trap words, that was another one. That one actually you don't even need anything besides paper.
Yeah.
And then like going off of that, there's a couple of games you can play without any components, like 100. Did you play that with us? I don't remember. The game where
the dice rolling or whatever.
Yeah,
and writing it down and stuff.
yeah. Each person has a piece of paper in front of them, and you roll a die, and then if you roll, or no, sorry, I think you roll. Well, you could do either way. I think we did doubles. So you had 2 dice you roll. If you get doubles, you take the pin. There's only 1 pin, and you start writing to 100.
That's right.
On your paper.
Mm-hmm.
And then then you pass the dice or whatever, and they keep passing the dice and rolling it in real time, and then whoever rolls a double will get to steal the pin from you and then start writing on their paper. The first person to get 100 wins. There's some other rules. Obviously, you can't run across and go hide and lock yourself in the bathroom.
Right.
You have to act like a robot and just sit there. You can't stop them from taking the pin from you.
But you don't have to give it up either.
Yeah, you don't have to hand it to
over,
them, but
right.
you write until they rip it out of your hand.
Right.
You just can't stop them,
Mhm.
which is for 2 good reasons. 1, you don't stab anybody, and 2, the pin doesn't
Safety.
break.
Right.
And then the last one, like Ultimate Tic-Tac-Toe.
Oh yeah, that's a great game.
That's actually pretty decent. Just look up the rules for that if you're not sure. But basically, it's a 3x3 grid of tic-tac-toe boards. When you make a mark, it forces which board the other player plays on, and you go back and forth.
Yeah.
So a lot of cool stuff. Then if you want to spend a little bit of money, you can do print and plays. If you want to like print out actual cards and stuff. If you work at a company that has a printer available, then it becomes free print and plays. Anyway, Tabletop Simulator. I probably should save this one for last, but geez, man, Tabletop Simulator.
Yeah, just getting back into it. We took a quite a few months hiatus.
No,
but,
we took a Destiny hiatus is what we did.
Yeah, it's been a little while.
Yeah.
But all kinds of awesome games on there. I think we were just on it, and there's 10,800 board games on Tabletop.
And I think I have 25 pages. Each page has 28 games. And that's not in counting like the 10 folders that I have another 3 or 4 pages each. Because those are like random things, or like maybe War Machine or Necromunda. Or I've got one that's just a bunch of pieces because I've been building games into it. I like to get the publisher's permission usually. So all my stuff up there, if you look, it's Rainfire13, REIN. My stuff is approved by the publisher. So that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's so good. Good.
It's
we'll leave out the controversy and talk about that another time.
But it's a great way to play when you can't get together for whatever reason. You know, it might be snowing outside. You just go to your room and you meet up online and you can play.
Yep.
Yeah. Or if you know you have a player that is across the country, you still can play with them.
Matt has a computer now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he doesn't own Tabletop Simulator.
We got George on it.
Any interest in that, Matt?
Well, what time do y'all usually play?
Well,
lately.
That doesn't work for you, but specifically what I mean is, for instance, on a Friday, right, that we, like, for instance, there is snow or we can't play at somebody's house and then we have to kind of finagle away. Like, we could just get on Tabletop Simulator at the time we would normally play games.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that would be cool.
We've done that before.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We'll have to get you on it. It's super cheap. I mean, you can get, I think they have sales on Steam and Humble Bundle regularly, taking it from $20 to $10.
Yeah.
That $10 budget gaming.
Normal price, $20, you get access to so many games.
Yeah. Yep. And I think, you know, you're either going to buy the game or you're not anyway. So this doesn't really change anything. It's just allows you to play it just like you would in the library of a.
Right. We've played games on there that we still bought afterwards.
Oh yeah. I actually get excited about games on there because I'm like, man, we wanted to play Trajan. I could not buy it anywhere. We played it. It's amazing. And, now they're reprinting it.
Reprint, and then we'll buy it when it gets reprinted. Right.
For sure. So Tabletop Simulator, man. And if you buy it, go to MeepleCore.com, click on that Humble Bundle partner link and buy it from Humble Bundle. Give us a little bit of kickback. We are not endorsed at all of Tabletop Simulator, but it is probably the best thing I've ever purchased. Super good. Eric, you got anything to add? I've got a couple more, but I don't want to.
Oh, no. You kind of already gone through my list here.
Matt, you had anything? Or
you know, I usually match rate is the big thing for me, but beyond that, the next biggest thing is sales on cool stuff. They'll usually have these big, massive sales where they got 99-cent games, and you might not know anything about it, but you're still going to buy it for 99 cents and stuff like that. So it's, I just keep an eye out for the sales on cool stuff, you know, from time to time. And even really like their daily and weekly sales can be interesting.
Oh yeah. And there's a couple of websites too. As a matter of fact, I did a episode on Token Punch Lunch about this specific thing. I did, like, you know, because Miniature Market has a massive clearance section, especially if you like miniature games. They have a lot of clearance of that.
Also, with Miniature Market, I know maybe others do the same, but if you're trying to hit that free shipping mark, they will hold your order so you can get up to that certain amount. Well, so if you find one that's on sale or, you know, it's, you know, a daily deal, which I don't believe they do anymore, you can add it to your cart, you can purchase it, you can tell them to hold it until, you know, you get up to 95 or 100.
Yeah.
Whatever
I think
free shipping is.
95 for Miniature Market, $100 or $99 for cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, though, I think the free shipping is almost not really that big of a deal anymore because they have $5.99 flat rate.
That's only for miniature market, right? Not cool
I
stuff.
think Cool Stuff has it as well.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So it's like, that's cool that I can get free shipping by going to $100, but now I feel more like I can buy a $40 game.
You don't have to get up to $100 now.
Yeah. And obviously, I mean, somebody out there is going to be screaming at us, blah, 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 support your brick and mortar. If you don't really have a brick and mortar that you go to, you can't support it. We don't have one that we go to. We get, obviously, games from publishers and stuff like that. We have our own setup that we play. We play internally because I feel like if us three play a game, we can more accurately, talk about it on the podcast. Although, yeah, I get it. You play with different groups. We have a lot of people that we play with. So we do experience all the different, groups of types of gamers and stuff and factor that in. But I just don't feel like there's a need for us to go to a brick and mortar and pay full price because we have a group that we play with.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say that when I was going to brick and mortars for many, many years, I did buy a lot of stuff from them specifically to support them. And I really hope the industry goes in a way that helps them out, better, because I feel like it would be cool if just games in general were like Cool Stuff prices everywhere.
Right.
Because I would straight go to a store and buy a game at that point
Mm-hmm.
because you get the impulse buying from that.
Right.
Mhm.
You get it right away.
Yeah. I'll have it that night. I'll punch it out and I won't play it for 3 months. It'll be great.
Right.
But there's other game. Speaking of those websites, FRP Games is another one I think that is fairly. It's actually I think Game Castle with a K now, but if you go to frpgames.com, it does redirect you. That was one that's like a hidden gem because they have a ton of stuff, especially if you like war games, like the 15mm war games. They have a ton of stuff on clearance, but they have a lot of games on there that is like 90% off retail.
Wow.
Yeah, they have a huge amount of clearance stuff. Not amazing stuff, but they do have a lot of stuff. So, which takes me to the last thing I think we have on here is probably one topic that will make it to a top 5 later because I'm going to throw it on you and no one's going to be able to think of anything. But games that have the biggest bang for your buck that are cheap. Now, obviously, Gloomhaven is one game that you can say has a big bang for your buck,
Right.
but it's $100.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm talking more like the under $20 range that has like a massive amount of replayability
Mm-hmm.
or like just a lot that you can do. Can you think of anything off the top of your head? I mean, we don't need to like brain burn ourselves.
There is that. There is a game. I just can't think of the name right now. It's over here.
It's small. Oh, it has to be small. If it's like $20.
Right. It's a. It's not deck building. You get cards. You go into Draku.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'll say that is a lot of bang for your buck. It's a small package, so I believe it's probably in that $20 range.
Yeah.
But it's
And like the Tiny Epic Kingdoms games.
Sure,
Or
some of
Tiny
them.
Epic games.
I was just wondering how much those, 25 maybe?
25, I think.
25 is
retail,
pretty constant.
20.
one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, there's a lot of game for the price that you're paying. So
I wouldn't say every one of them, but there's a few that are pretty good.
yeah, like
But-
for instance, I don't think even though I love Tiny Epic Galaxies,
Mhm.
I don't necessarily consider it a bang for your buck because it is like the same thing over and over. Like you play it, nothing really changed between that playthrough and the next playthrough.
Mhm.
But like Tiny Epic Kingdoms has so much going on, even though I'm not the biggest fan of those type of games, it is a lot going on and there's a lot of change, especially the player count and all that stuff. Kind of doing the same thing, I get it, but there's a lot of differences,
I would say Tiny Epic Quest.
Yeah, Tiny Epic Quest is great.
Yeah.
It's a lot of bang for your buck. No, excuse me. But Jiraku, bang for your buck.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do that. Does that sound like an exciting topic? Does it sound like something you could even...
There's two of mine.
There's two.
It would be a lot of research.
Yeah, because I mean, we'd have to put some parameters on it. Like, do you want to do $20? Do you want to do $50? Or just whatever amount that you want?
Right.
Because, I mean, is a $100 game really a budget game? I guess it could be, because if you buy 5 $20 games, you could have bought the $100 game.
Mm-hmm. And that $100 game has 80 scenarios that will last you your lifetime.
Yeah, but you could play it for
whatever.
like months and months. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't want it to... If you open it that big, then it just becomes top 5 campaign style games,
Yeah.
But I don't know. That'd be interesting. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we won't. But anyway, I guess we're probably done with this board gaming on a budget.
And no mention of the Mayfair $7 rack.
It's over.
It's
Rest
over.
in peace.
Yeah, rest in
Yeah.
peace. That was like the greatest thing ever, man. Greatest thing ever. But that's bring me to conventions. Conventions have a ton of, like, the auction at Gen Con is amazing. The consignment area is amazing.
Yep.
That is newly found to us. We just always thought it was the auction, and I know they had the consignment. I just never thought about it.
Right.
But the consignment at Gen Con, obviously it's once a year, and you're paying a lot of money to get to Gen Con, which we didn't even talk about at the beginning, that we had a great time.
Yes.
You sign up for the lottery, and it's like, starts at 12, and I got 12:01.
Yep.
So this is like literally the first time
We love
since
the portal now.
2003.
The portal's
Yeah.
great.
The
We
portal's
love
great.
it.
Yeah, solved. So since since it's been in Indianapolis in 2003, I think we have never been this close to it.
No, not this close.
I
no.
don't think you could get closer.
I mean, you
Or
can't
then across
because
the
there's not
street.
one inside the convention center.
Right.
So, yeah, that's awesome. It literally is. You can wake up, look out your window, and see Gen Con, walk to it in 3 seconds.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
Oh, it's gonna be so great. But yeah. Anyway, so like conventions have like the auction that's great. If you want to get some really older stuff, probably like things that are out of print and stuff. But the consignment where people go in there and put a price on it, it'll be like, if you're not familiar with it, it's in the same room as the auction at Gen Con. There is just tables and tables of
right
just
next
crap.
to it, actually.
It's,
But
yeah, it's in the same room.
It's separated, but yes,
It's separated because they put a barrier. It's not separated by a wall.
there's a wall.
No, it's
and a
not.
door,
No.
right?
We
No.
were watching the auction while we were in the consignment.
All
area.
right,
'Cause
maybe
they-
you're right.
they say a bunch of funny things.
Okay, that's right. That's right.
So you pick up a game and it's like, if you buy it on Thursday, it's this much. If you buy it on Friday, it's this much. And Saturday, it's this much. It is not there on Sunday. So keep that in mind. It's just the first 3 days. But man, I mean, there's some games that like start out $50 and on the day 3, it's like 10.
Yeah.
But it's
Just
probably going to go
getting
on day
rid of
2.
it,
Yeah.
right.
They just, because that person does not want it, but they might, now somebody wants to buy it for
They
45.
just don't want to take it home.
Yeah, exactly. So it's super good. It's super cool. It's all used stuff. I mean, it actually has new stuff as well.
Right.
So you actually get to pick it up and physically look at it. Although you don't get to open it up, I don't think, and look at the components. So they have to be very detailed, I think, of what is missing, if anything, or if anything's damaged on the inside, because it is tied to their seller ID
Mm-hmm.
and you can report them. So there is a stake at that. They don't want to rip you off.
Right.
But that's fun. All the different vendors that have sales, like Yellow.
Mm-hmm.
Yellow's becoming the new go-to.
Yeah.
Mayfair rack.
Oh yeah, man! Like Dungeon Fighter,
Yep.
Yeah. All the expansions for 20.
4 expansions, $20. That's
Yeah.
5 a piece.
Wow.
That's insane. And we got Oceanos for $12, and I got Zombie 15 and the expansion for like
For-
15, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was really cheap.
Oh, that was sick. Yeah,
we haven't
so-
played it yet, but
I haven't
we'll
played
get
it yet.
around.
But yeah, if you check out the Yellow booth, that's good. What other booths are really good before we end this?
Pricing wise, I don't know.
I mean, other than Mayfair Rip,
Yeah.
dude, that was so good.
I mean, sometimes on the last day, if they didn't sell one of their new releases that well, like Blue Orange does it a lot.
Exactly.
Like they did it with King Domino. It was like
They
It was
was
like
like,
$10.
all right.
yeah,
Bam, bam.
they dropped it like really low because they just had so many left over.
Right.
Yeah. All Mayday Games has some really good deals, but typically it's always the same games each year. Like we got some, like Dungeon Busters was
Yeah.
$5.
Yeah.
It was good for $5.
Sure.
We played it a few times and I actually enjoyed it, but if I would have paid like 15 or something, I'd be like, eh.
Yeah.
So they got some decent deals for that. They have a lot of sleeves. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I
So-
don't think they go down prices on their sleeves. Oh, they do have like a convention price. I think it's like $1 for the smaller ones, and then
Yeah.
$2 for the regular size. So they do have a convention price for their sleeves, but they don't like clearance them out.
Yeah. Well, the only other thing I'll say about Yellow is go there day one as fast as possible because that's the really good stuff goes away really fast.
Yes.
Yeah.
So anyway, I guess that's it. Unless you have anything else to mention.
No.
Nope. That's how you ball. That was terrible. That's how you board game on the budget like a baller.
Yeah.
Anyway, next topic.